Hello and welcome to the first video on my new channel. My name is Nitro Ketchup and I'm playing a game called 20 Minutes Till Dawn, not 20 days. And it's basically a game all about just, you need to survive for 20 minutes while creatures of the darkness are trying to take you out. It's quite fun. Pretty entertaining gameplay. I just kind of gotten into it, so it's not like the most advanced gameplay or anything like that, but it's still pretty entertaining to say the least. I get a pretty good build going, but I'll be talking about that more in just a little bit here. To start off, I just wanted to kind of introduce myself, as this is kind of a new channel, or at least it's not new, but it's newly active, I guess is what I'll say, guys. I'd like to start making videos. I'm gonna just see what I can do, as it's something I've always wanted to do and always wanted to try, and I figured may as well go for it, see what I can do with it as it stands, you know. But my name is Nitro Ketchup is my channel name. That's kind of my online screen name, but I also go by Max as kind of my real name. And I like to play a whole lot of different games, so it's going to be, don't expect to see one game or one thing. I kind of jump around all the time, so hopefully if you are watching, you'll be staying more for me rather than any specific game I'm playing. But I am going to try and make everything I play as entertaining as possible, at least through the minimal editing that I know how to do, and at least learning how to edit and everything like that. So we'll see how it goes and all things like that. But at least for this video, I know it's probably going to be a little awkward, since this is basically my first couple times trying out commentary in a hole like that. But right now, what I got going on, 2 minutes in here, just kind of getting the basic levels. I've gone for pretty much building up the dragon egg early on, which is like a summon in this game that makes it, you just gotta survive early on, and then it rewards you for surviving by giving you a pretty powerful ally later on. So I was kind of just hoping to be able to use that, but because I was pretty confident in my ability to survive with it, since the character I picked in the beginning has extra health, so I can afford to take a few hits, even though I'm not because pretty much I know I'm gonna get hit, and if I had any less health, I probably wouldn't make it. And then even here, I'm getting hit. I'm already getting hit, so I clearly need that extra health. Hopefully, if I ever do future runs in this game, I won't be getting hit until like maybe 10 minutes in or something like that. This game is pretty challenging, all things considered, because you always got to stay on your toes, as the enemies just don't stop coming. You always got to be just adapting and improvising, which makes it a pretty interesting roguelike, because it's more about just the abilities and skills rather than anything else, and just being able to keep on dodging infinitely well than anything else. And then coming up right here, my train of thought just kind of falters on me, which I'm going to leave in because I need to show growth and just kind of be able to bounce back. But right here is where the first kind of mini boss comes in. That big red guy that looks a little bit different. He's kind of the big baddie of the main enemies, and he's coming in with the first kind of artifact drop that you can get that really kind of powers you up off of just the basic level ups that give you your regular perks and everything. But it's kind of tough to get to him with all of the dudes coming around, but being able to chain the explosion guys together, I was being able to handle it pretty well. In addition to the dragon, I was also going with the glare build, which pretty much any randomly does damage to any guys within the vicinity of my character, which is pretty good, which has basically probably been keeping me alive for most of this point. But now I beat that boss, and now it's just kind of preparation. At 15 minutes is when you get to the first real kind of main boss enemy that'll give you a tough time, and I was prepared for it, or at least tried. I had that in mind, so I was getting ready. And the dragon egg is about to hatch, so you'll see my DPS is really about to start popping off. This is kind of where I started feeling pretty confident with everything. As I'm sure you can tell, this isn't live, because I tried a couple takes with it live and it just didn't. It wasn't able to happen, and I really wanted to at least, get a video out with everything going on, or at least get one out there so I can prove to myself that I can do it. If anything, at this point, these videos are more for me than for anyone else, because I want to make videos, I want to get better, I just want that out there. I want some type of presence. I finally got some bullet damage upgrades, and then this combined with see the dragon with its triple shot fire. This is where I really start to take control of the situation. That's just, they can't even, usually they'd be swarming up, but they can't. I'm taking them out so fast, most of these enemies can't even get into a swarm. And then right about 15 minutes, that's where the first major boss comes in, the tree dinosaur. I'm not sure which Cthulhuan monster a tree dinosaur is, but nonetheless, it must die. And it's not really too difficult, especially when I get this walk speed increase. Give me just the right amount of movement speed to be able to completely dodge any of his totally telegraphed attacks and everything like that. But this one, with the boss fights, it makes it a little bit easier because it gives you an arena that you kind of have to go around in, so you can make it more, you can kind of make a path rather than just wandering off in one direction and letting hordes of guys get you. So I kind of use that it's kind of to your advantage when it seems like it might be trying to hinder you. But I think it's a little weird to, even for a couple minutes after, it still makes you stay in the arena and have to deal with all these guys. Even though they're not, in the grand scheme of things, these ones aren't all too bad to deal with from my experience. And if you notice too, you can't get too close to the trees who also start attacking you also. So you think you're safe, but you're not quite safe. And then after the boss as well, there's the eyeball guys that shoot the orange projectiles. Those are just add another layer. The longer you try to survive, the more things there are to get involved. And that's exactly why I can't quite do live commentary with this one just yet. Which I would like to eventually only be doing live commentaries. But for now, I need to get kind of my thoughts in order. This is what I'm gonna have to go with. If you've made it this far into the video, I would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed and all that good stuff. But no pressure, because there's probably nothing here that's really deserving of that, just from that right away. But I do hope that there will be content worth watching in the near future on this channel. My mind is always racing with new ideas, so I like to, I'd like to follow through on those ideas, even if things turn out a little weird. I mean, it just kind of is what it is. Man, the enemies on the screen are getting so crazy that I'm even getting into it just without even playing, which I'm sure is making the commentary a little bit awkward and weird, but that don't matter. This too, the fireball upgrade just really starts making my DPS go out of control here, and these smaller enemies don't really, as if they've never really been a threat before, but now they're just almost completely outmatched. And that 20 minutes is looking pretty, I would say, besides the health, it looks pretty obtainable. And more and more of the projectiles. There's another thing to worry about. It's always so much to analyze and be doing while you're going through it all. But once I got this upgrade's pretty important. The lightning making it so I get even more DPS around. Because at this point, I think the key to this game is just being able to get through the hordes of enemies without getting touched. Because as soon as you're overwhelmed, then you have less places to go, and movement in roguelikes is like everything with it. You gotta be able to move and dodge how you want, otherwise you're gonna die pretty fast. And with this too, just even more AoE to spread them out, so I could just keep on going. And the dragon really proving to be useful with its fireballs. Honestly, this run could be fully given to the dragon. The dragon is the true MVP of the run, and we're all just here basking in its glory. It took a long time on this one because pretty much all of those perks right there were some of the best of the best. Maybe next time I play this game I'll try to do it live where I can kind of explain my decisions more in the moment rather than after the fact. Hitting level 20, feeling good about 10 minutes in. 10 minutes into the run, feeling like it's pretty much it's either only a matter, and I haven't gotten hit pretty much since the mini boss, so I'm like, in my head right now, I'm feeling like I'm gonna start choking pretty soon, or like, surely something's gonna come in to give me a hard time. Try to give myself a damage upgrade, and then keep on moving. As the hordes and hordes of enemies just don't quite stop. And yeah, this run, in fact, I'd never quite made it this far. So I'm just going in blind, just hanging on for dear life, so to speak. So it's pretty intense. And then I get the damage upgrade there. Not more stuttering on my part. Captain stuttering over here. But we're pushing through, and then this is when I didn't even know these guys were a thing, but it looks like at 10, those little baby octopuses get upgraded to some higher tier demon monsters. It definitely caught me off guard. But just like anything else, my fireball, the dragon and my fire damage was just enough to keep on pushing through without too much hesitation. Still getting my upgrades, getting my summon magic daggers and everything like that to cut through them. Blasting through, and then at some point, the second, I was expecting a mini boss to show up again, because it had been a while since I had fought one. In the meantime, while trying to keep the swarm under control, because it was the last thing I want is just to get completely overwhelmed. Even more of the projectile guys, and then the explosion dudes coming in. Got myself hit by one explosion dude to leave me at 1 heart. Suddenly, not feeling so good about how much longer, but we only have 8 minutes left, so it was still. And there's the mini boss. So the mini boss comes in at 8 minutes or so. Something to keep in mind. But it just seems like the enemies just keep on coming. The DPS, my damage was not quite able to keep up. I was doing the best I could, dodging and weaving for my life at this point. This is, before you could tell I was kind of in control, but at this point, I wasn't in control anymore. And that ended it. So thank you so much for watching, and subscribe, and hopefully stick around for more to come. I have big plans.